This is fucking stupid. Anyways, hi. My name is Agent Maxwell. You may also know me as Agent Maxwell. I don't think I have any other aliases. For the past 230-ish days, I think, I have been reading every single SCP because I don't know. I wanted to. I finished. I read through the top rated stuff. I read through the user created lists. You know, what else is there to do? And I've recently reached 2,000, as you might have seen in the Twitter scroll thing at the beginning of the video. If you want to go follow my Twitter, do that now. Although I don't post anything there. I mean, I post this video, the link to this video there, but I only post about reading SCPs basically. So if you're interested in seeing that, go there, I guess. But yeah, I reached 2,000, and I wanted to do I guess you'd call it a retrospective. I think I'll call this video a retrospective on SCPs 002 to 2000. Not 001 because I'm doing the 001 proposals after I finish reading all of the other ones because they're like, it's not the first thing you should read, right? So I don't know. I'm making this up as I go along, really. I'll probably be doing these every 1,000 SCPs, I think. Maybe 500, but probably not. Probably just 1,000. Now, if this video seems unscripted or not very thought out, that's because it isn't. I don't have a script, and I started recording because I wanted the cat on my lap for this bit, and he went on my lap, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll start. This is gonna suck to edit. Overall thoughts, I think I'll start off with. I probably should put that at the end, but I don't care. I can switch this around. I don't know. Overall, really good. I mean, I know Series 1 and to an extent Series 2 gets a pretty bad rap because it's the earliest days on the site and the quality isn't always the best. But I did genuinely like basically every single SCP I read in Series 1 and 2. They're all very good, and I recommend reading them. I didn't upvote all of them because I only realized, oh, I should really be upvoting these at around like 400, I think. I will probably eventually go back and upvote all of the ones before that, but I have upvoted everything past 400, I believe, I think. I probably missed some, right? But I think there's only two that I consciously didn't upvote. I haven't downvoted anything yet. I have not seen anything that I disliked enough to downvote. I've only seen things I disliked enough to not vote on, which is two SCPs. And I'm not going to mention them, because that would be kind of rude, I think. So for the rest of the video, I'm going to go through the SCPs that I really liked from 002 to 2000. This isn't a comprehensive list because I only started this after 914. I realized around when I finished 914, I was like, yeah, I should probably be compiling the ones I really like because there's a lot of these and I want to go back and reread them. So prior to Series 2, it's kind of sparse, and if there's some article in there that you think really should be in there and it isn't, tell me. I don't know. I don't know who I'm talking to right now because no one watches these. I don't know. I'm gonna post this on Twitter. Maybe I have some followers now. You people like to see me read SCPs for some reason. I have no idea what's going on. It's kind of scary. All right. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna have to move closer to the camera because I have to actually read it off my computer here. All right. So first one, 039 Monkey Brain by Cothard or Asterix. I think I said that correctly. This is a rewrite, I believe. So it isn't like an old Series 1 article. It's a rewrite. I think it's pretty recent, but it's very good. I quite like this one. It's funny. I like funny SCPs. It's pretty rare that one gets a chuckle out of me, and this one did. Next up, we have 049 Plague Doctor by Gabriel Jade and DJ Cactus. That one's kind of obvious. I just kind of like the Plague Doctor, and so I have this mask. This was for a Halloween costume, like before the pandemic, lol. 093 Red Sea Object by Nico Chris. Very good, super good. Side note for this one, I was really surprised that this is the same author who wrote 610, Flesh That Hates, because I also really like 610. Now, I did say this list was incomplete, so we're jumping all the way to 455 right now. The Cargo Ship by Dr. Gears. This one is really good. I remember reading this one ages ago and getting really creeped out by it, and it still manages to creep me out. It's so good. Go read it. I should probably not say, go read it, because I'll be saying that for every single one. So blanket statement, go read these. I will link the document in the description of this video. I should have said that earlier. All right, then we have 469, Many-Winged Angel by Prof. Snyder. I'm not sure why I like this one so much. It's just really good. Then we have 507, The Reluctant Dimension Hopper by anonymous author, which sucks because this is one of my favorite articles on the entire site. I love the extended logs for this one. They are so interesting. And there's 610, Flesh That Hates. Yeah, I already said I really like Flesh That Hates. Great exploration logs, really just unnerving the whole time and kind of sickening, which is really good. If something written can make you feel sick, the fucking camera, if something written can make you feel sick or unnerved, like, so good. It's written so well. There's 715, My Face That I May Be by Agatha Wrights and DJ Cactus. This one's a good one. I'm realizing now how redundant my explanations of these are. It's just like, this is a good article. That's it. Like, basically, I mean, because, I don't want to spoil anything, right? If someone hasn't read these, I don't want to say, like, oh, the twist in this one is really good, because, and they know there's a twist. So, whoops. Not going to be a lot of substance in this video. But hey, you can skip to the end if you want and just read these. I don't care. 783, There Was a Crooked Man by SD Luck. This one is, I think this is my favorite article on the site. It is so unnerving. It is so well written. Like, oh my god. It's so good. Every time I read this one, I am looking over my shoulder for no reason for like 2 hours after I'm done reading it. It's incredible, really. 914, The Clockworks by Dr. Gears. Obviously had to include this one. This SCP actually contains my only contribution to the site so far. 2 test logs. I believe it's 2. And they are okay. I stopped writing for some reason. I genuinely forgot why I stopped writing for it. Because I had some okay ideas. I don't know. I might continue at some point. Then there's 939 with Many Voices by Adam Smasher and Echo 4 Delta. Very good. I like the funny dogs. This one is also a pretty unnerving article. Like, it's kind of funny because a lot of the ones like, 939, 106, 173, the ones in the games, they're not super unnerving, their articles, but this one is pretty unnerving. I like it. There's 948, The Workaholic by Rimple. This one is, if I remember correctly, this is more of it's more centered on the actual person that the SCP is rather than what the SCP does, which I like. It's pretty cool to see something like that in Series 1. SCP-1000, Bigfoot by the Deadly Moose. All the KCON winners are going to be on here, right? Kind of obviously, they're good. They're very good. It's, again, I don't want to spoil anything, right? But, it's good. It's the first KCON winner, I think. I'm not sure how they worked back then, so maybe he just stole the slot, Lamau. But yeah, good article. I like it. 1111, The White Dog by Dr. Severe. It's a funny and sad article, which is good. I like that it's both funny and a little bit kind of depressing. 1019, Mr. Toxic by Rex Atlas. I want to be totally real, I am pretty sure this is a part of a bunch of other Little Misters, and since I'm reading chronologically, or I haven't read the other ones yet, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I still like it. It's unnerving and it's weird, and I like that. There's 1165, Minus Level by Smapty. Really good one. I like there's not much explained. Like, it's really just, a lot of it is left up to the imagination, which I like. There's 1229, 37 films starring Len and Neil by Callanan. This one's another one that's just like, it's just weird. You think about it for like a while after you finish reading. You're like, what the fuck was that? That's kind of like, what the hell? Very good. I love those. 1304, Metafictional Rebirth Ritual by Ted Lee Anderson. Good article. It's an interesting SCP, and I really like the ending. 1425, Star Signals by Silver Escher. This one is Another one, I think this is fifthest, I believe. Yes, this is the fifthest one. This actually might be the first fifthest article I've read, or the first one I remember reading, because fifthism is just weird, right? Which I like. So I like this one. And it is a pretty neat story about what the Foundation would do to contain something that is extremely widespread. This one was also talked about by Harry Blank and Gregory Carpin on the Simply Creative People podcast. I recommend watching that episode. I recommend watching the entire thing, actually. It's super good. It's such a good podcast. We have 1444 Hunger by Stormbreath. This one's so good. Exploration logs, really like it. Really neat ending. References another SCP that I really like, 1730. Just great all around. There's 1461 House of the Worm by Snake Oil Sage. This one, I like it because it has a lot of journal entries. I love all that stuff. It also tells a really neat story. And I think, if I remember correctly, it is Church of the Broken God adjacent. I think it's tagged as Church of the Broken God. Okay, I just checked. Yeah, it is tagged as Broken God. And I love Church of the Broken God stuff. So, very good article. 1471, Mallow version 1.0.0 by Lurk D. Everyone knows about this one. It sucks that it is known as that one. It's a really good article, though. Like, genuinely. It gets memed to hell and back, but it is a really good article. And it tells a really interesting story. 1487, Beautiful Bones by Azelflux. It's another one that is less about the SCP and more about a little self-contained story regarding the SCP, which is nice. 1499, The Gas Mask by Traz Kanari. Everyone knows about it because it's in the games, but still a really good article. Again, I apologize for the repeated statements of this is a good article. I'm horrible at making videos, okay? 1514, Star Wars by Anbro is another article that is just a little bit weird, and it makes you think, and it makes you a little bit confused, and I like it. It's good. 1529, King of the Mountain by Smapty is very good. I enjoyed reading this one a lot. It's another interesting article. It's another one that makes you just think. It's not weird per se, but it just makes you, it just piques your interest a lot. It's good. 1534, One Best Way by Malice Graves and Marcellus Rains. This one is another little bit of a weird one. It's also funny. I like it a lot. It's a good blend of weird and funny, and I think Mars said on Twitter that it was actually inspired by a real life, like, religion they made with their coworkers. I'm gonna go look. Hold on. Yeah, okay, I just checked. It is based on a real cult they started at a Walmart, which is so funny, and it really adds to the feel of the article if you know that. 1548, The Star of the Hateful by Nat Voltaic and Veraxis. This one is another weird one, and like I couldn't get this one out of my head for a couple days afterwards. It's a really interesting article. 1549, In Absence of a Perfect Medium by Billith and Dark Stuff. This one is maybe my favorite story-driven article in Series 1. Wait, this is Series 2. In Series 2, it's really good. The email logs are super fun to read. It's just a really fun article to read. I highly recommend it. 1594, Earth Corpse by Dr. Berggren is one of the only articles that has made me laugh out loud. I don't know why. It's just really funny. 1654, Tuned to a Dead Channel by Veraxis is, again, a weird one that just sticks with you a little bit. This is the same person who co-wrote Star of the Hateful, and yeah, I can definitely see the style that they have. It's really good. 1689, Bag of Holding Potatoes by Llama66613 is another exploration log heavy article, which I very much enjoy. It's also the potato bag article. It's a bag of infinite potatoes. What's not to like? 1714, The Parsimonious Physicist by Miss Mercurial is another interesting one. It's a bit of a sciencey article, and it's got an interesting character in it. 1730, What Happened to Site 13 by GJ Cactus. Of course this one is going to be on here. It is such a good article. It is heavy on exploration logs. It tells a character-driven story. It has a fight that I am not going to spoil because it is really cool. Incredibly good article. Really, just really good. 1733, Season Opener by Baztech. This is an interesting one. I really like the idea for this one is really good. Big props to coming up with this because it's such an interesting idea to play with in the format of an SCP article, and they nailed it. It's really good. 1734, The Hole in the Deck by Anbro. This is, again, a little bit of a weird one. And I guess I'm repeating that now, aren't I? Good lord. Anyways, good article. Very good article. 1739, Obsolete Laptop by Schubert. I can't really talk about what I like about this one without spoiling the ending, but it's really good. It's another interesting concept to play with. 1762, Where the Dragons Went by Oz Ouroboros is the sad article that I always hear about. I had not read it previously, and I was expecting it to be really sad. But I think it got overhyped for me. But I was expecting something like crazy sad, and it was just pretty sad. So I don't think it had the same impact on me as it should have, which I'm kind of annoyed about, but still a good article. Very good. 1795, The Star Room by Astronaut Joe. This is another little bit of a weird one. I can just hear myself repeating the same thing over and over again. I can at least change the sentence structure, right? This one is a little bit weird, and it's a good one. I'm honestly still a little bit confused by it, but still a good article. 1798, Children of the Void by Mortos. This one is a really good article, and it links to something else that I have not read yet, because I believe it's a tale thing, or a hub. If it isn't, whoops. I'll have to go back and read that. But it's really interesting, and I am excited to read that other thing it links to. It seems like a setup for something bigger, and I like the setup. So I will probably like whatever it's setting up. 1822, The Quantification of Luck by Billith is super good. This is my favorite sciencey article on the site, and it is a sciencey article. Even with the amount of just science and anomalous science it throws at you, it is pretty easy to follow, actually, which is impressive. And it is such an interesting article. The ending is great, and it needs more upvotes. The fact that this thing isn't at plus 50 is a crime. It only needs 3 more, so go read it, and if you like it, upvote it. We're not going to do any malicious upvoting here, but if you were going to do malicious upvoting, this is the article you want to maliciously upvote. 1839, Reproductive Methods of Bony Fish by Salman Corbett. This one's just funny. It's just a funny article. I think this one really toes the line of being a -J. Although, don't quote me on that. I don't write for the wiki, and I'm not a member of staff. I don't know what constitutes a -J, but it's really funny. I like it. 1861, The Crew of the HMS Wintersheimer by Pepper's Ghost is another interesting article. It's a little bit weird. It makes you think. I am repeating the same damn points. I mean, a lot of SCPs have similar, like overarching things. Come on. But yeah, good article. Pepper's Ghost also just in general writes really good stuff. There's more articles from them coming. 1875, Antique Chess Computer by the Mad Stork. This is another one that really unnerves me every time I read it without fail. The ending is just, distorted human faces are super creepy for me for some reason, and this has some really good ones. I believe the image was actually changed at some point, but both of them are good. 1893, The Minotaur's Tale by Escobar is the weirdest article I've read, I think. And that's not a bad thing at all. It's got this really interesting thing where reloading the page will take you to different iterations of the same article, and it is, I think I need to go back and read it because I'm a little bit confused by it, but it's really good. It's very good. 1921, Black Cotton Candy by Pepper's Ghost. Told you there'd be more. This one's funny and weird, and those are some of the best articles. I mean, the article has the line, "Prepare all clowns for milking." If that doesn't sell the article for you, you are a crazy person. 1922, Limbo by Ignotum per Ignotius is an interesting article. It's not super weird, and it's not super unnerving. It's just kind of, you just feel bad for the guy, really. You just feel bad for the SCP. 1924, Broken Man by Abatic is funny. This is a really funny article. I like it because it's absurd humor. I love absurd humor. Definitely go read this one if you like absurd humor. 1935, An Empty Chamber by Dematics. This one hits you in the feels. This one is just distilled sadness in an article. Not even really sadness, just like that dampening feeling that you get when you're just kind of down for no reason. It is an impressively written article that it can make you feel that. It's a good article, but I don't recommend reading it if you're not in a good headspace. 1936, Daleport by Flameshirt and Tanhoney is a weird one. I know. I've said that a lot, but again, it's a weird one. I don't think this one is Fifth Fist. I didn't see Fifth Fist in the tags. It's just strange, and it's good. I really like it. It's got a lot of snippets of stuff to read, like CCTV footage and stuff. Very good. Very good. Love it. 1958, Magic Bus by Smapty is another good character-driven SCP, and it's a bit sad, but I like it a lot. 1968, Global Retrocausality Torus by Rec White Fahrenheit is another one of those articles that just kind of sticks with you a little bit. It has some really interesting implications when you think about it in terms of whatever canon. There is no canon, obviously, but you know, in your personal head canon. I quite like it for that, and it's also just a really interesting one. 1972, Escort and Officer by Dejoric and Ip is another funny article. I quite like it. It gave me a good chuckle. 1981, Ronald Reagan Cut Up While Talking by DigiWizard is one that used to unnerve me a lot, but it doesn't anymore because I've read it so many times. Because it's just a really popular article, it gets linked everywhere. But yeah, it's good, and I quite like it. 1983, Doorway to Nowhere by Dr. Everett Mann is another interesting one. It is good because it doesn't tell you everything. You don't know really much about the SCP at the end, and I like that. It leaves a lot of it ambiguous. 1985, Recovered K-Class Scenario Research Device by The Deadly Moose is quite good. I like the logs, obviously, and the ending is an interesting one, and again, it just kind of sticks with you, makes you think. 2000, Deus Ex Machina by Hammer Maiden. I told you all the K-Contest ones would be on here, and here's this one. Very good article. I quite enjoyed reading it. The ending is interesting, and again, it's another one of the articles that it just makes you think a little bit, sticks in your head. Now, I do have some others on here, and I am probably going to repeat myself whenever I get to these, but whatever. These are just the couple I've read because they were linked to me, and I was like, fuck it, why not? 5616, The Woman in the Incinerator by Harry Blank. This is the best character-driven SCP I have read yet. It's just really fucking good. It's part of a canon. I think the canon is On Guard 43. Do not quote me on that. Really good article. Really makes you care about the character. Very good. 5732, And I'm Thinking of What Sarah Said by Radiger. Now this is a sad fucking article, alright? This one's tear-inducing, alright? Really good, it's good. 6466, Not Human Either by Ekronak. This one's creepy. It's not creepy for the way that you think. It's a bit on the nose with it, but I like it. I like it a lot. And then 6764, Maddie by J-Dune. It's fucking hilarious. It's a really funny article. Genuinely, just go read this one. It's hilarious. I also have a couple of tales here that I read. The Drooling Path by Cawthorder Asterix is really good. I found it because I was on the SP Fragments of Mind's YouTube channel, and I realized I hadn't actually read Heart of Darkness in ages. And this was linked on there. Holy, I spent like 45 minutes, like an hour, just reading this tale series. It's so good. It's really good. I haven't read many tales, but this is my favorite one on the site. There's Impossible to Destroy Reptile by Captain Kirby. This one is simply just what happens to 682 in End of Death. And it's good. You Are at the Center of Everything That Happens to You by Cawthorder Asterix. This is a tale about 3999. I am at the center of everything that happens to me, I believe. I have read that one. I need to add it to this document, actually. In any case, this is a good tale about it. I like it. Lastly, we have He Who Screwed With Reality by Nag Iros. This one is interesting. It is pataphysics, I believe. It's a good tale. It's a really good tale. And finally, we have one Wanderer's Library entry. The only one I have ever read. It is called Statues by Rounderhouse and Snapdragon 133. It's good. I do need to eventually read Wanderer's Library stuff, but that will come after SCPs. Okay, I just ended the video and I realized I forgot to do something. I don't know how this is going to look. I'm going to cut this in somewhere, but I just want to just kind of thank the community. Like, not for anything in particular. It's just like thanks for being so fucking awesome. Like genuinely, I have been into SCPs for ages, and just recently I've started like following a bunch of authors on Twitter, talking in the discords and stuff. Anyways, yeah, this community is incredible, and thank you all for being just really cool people. And that's it. Actually, yeah, that's it. I'm done now. Holy, that this recording is nearly an hour and a half long now. Holy shit. I really hope that the audio on this is okay. Otherwise, I'm going to go crazy. Anyways, the document I have with all of these articles is going to be linked in the description. Go read them. They're really good. And upvote them if you like them. Go follow me on Twitter. I don't know. I don't know how to end videos. All right? I'm crazy. I'm insane. I'm whack.